Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Let's Have a Pint. Today we have Raspberry Sour Crush by 10 Barrel Brewing Company. It is a sour ale. It is 6.5% alcohol by volume, and on Untapped it says it's 40 IBUs. But I feel like that's a bit much. I don't think it tells me on here though. I feel like that's a bit much. I could be wrong, but I feel like it's a bit much. Especially for being a sour and, you don't want really any hop presence or malt presence. But anyways, the description on this beer reads, acidulated white wheat raspberries and an inoculation of lactobacillus in the fermenter give this American ale its tart fruit taste. Low hop levels let the special sour flavors dominate, and rice syrup helps yield a particularly light finish and body. This is a real summer refresher. I've had this beer before a couple times. I absolutely love this beer. It is one of my favorite sours, of course. For fruit sours, for me there is nothing better than raspberry because I absolutely love raspberry. Here is the can, and I love that it is so basic and, straight to the point, and there's nothing special about the can. It just says Raspberry Sour, 10 Barrel Brewing Company, Crush. Anyways, on Untapped it gets a 3.83 rating. The two times I have had this, I rated it a 4 the first time and a 4.5 the second time. It has just gotten better to me. But, anyways. Let's see all that smoke coming out of the can. I got the only real glassware I have for this kind of style, which is a Fruity glass. But it actually works very well. I mean, it works decently for most sours. It works it works really well for a fruit sour. Whatever the hell I said before, I don't know what language that was I was trying to speak. But it was not one that I actually know. If I can keep pouring here. And this is just not a big enough glass to hold a whole 12-ounce can of beer. Let alone the pint that I wish it was. This is another beer I really wish it was a full pint. Because that is an incredible beer. But anyways, this is not going to be too surprising. You're going to get out of this what you think you're going to get out of this. And if that's what you love, you're going to love this beer. Extreme fruit on the head. Obviously that fruit is raspberry. That is all you get on the head, is the fruity raspberryness. Tart, sweet, refreshing, a little sour, a lot of raspberry. Absolutely love this beer. I think the rating's going to go up again. But yeah, I get that tart throughout. Tart throughout, raspberry throughout. There's that little bit of sweetness in there. Don't really taste much for the sour, just the tart. Which I swear there is a difference. Or I could just be fucking crazy. I could just be crazy, I'm sorry. Sour is a broad term that includes a range of tastes. For instance, we describe the unpleasant taste of soiled milk as sour, as well as the sharp acidic taste of vinegars and other tastes too. Tart is a subset of sour, not surprising, a narrower term which suggests acidic fruitness. See, there is more of that more encompassing sour in this. Just a hint, though. That tart is overshining everything except for the raspberry. Well, and I mean acidic fruitiness. The fruitiness is raspberry, so that is what you get out of this. That is what you're supposed to get out of this, and it is incredible. I googled tart versus sour. One of the things people ask a lot is a lemon sour or bitter? I don't know if that's as funny to anybody else, but I'm going to leave that as that is. Anyways, where is 10 Barrel from? I would love to visit their brewery. This is the only beer I've had from them, but I absolutely love it. And I appreciate that they pay attention to Untapped. Oh, they are from the exact same place as Deschutes Brewing. So I might want to retract that Deschutes is the only brewery that I love from Oregon. And that I've only had 2 different breweries from Oregon. I have clearly had 3. And if I ever get up there, I will tour all 3. Don't get me wrong, I will. But I will be most excited for 10 Barrel and Deschutes. The other one isn't even worth mentioning. I probably will never review one of their beers. I've only had one beer from them that is worth the price of the beer. And with that said, they've done a lot of stouts, and I'm not a big fan of their brand. But anyways, this is about 10 Barrels Raspberry Sour, which for fruit sours is probably my favorite that I have ever had. The only other one I can tell you offhand that I've ever had was Lindemann's raspberry, and their regular is strawberry, I want to say. And I mean, I liked that one a lot. I just love it. I love any beer with raspberry in it. I've had a lot of wheat beers with raspberry. Some of them good, some of them bad. I've talked about this before. But none of them come close to this beer. It's fairly expensive. For what it is, it's not really that expensive. I think it was a $11.99 6-pack. But for a 6-pack of a sour beer, $11.99 is not that much money. You know, your sours have to age from between, I think it's 10 months and 3 years. You do that adds a lot of money to the price of a beer. And it's, and it's not that that breweries choose to do that. With a sour, you have to do that. Sorry, I just got a shipping notification for a book that I purchased. Yes. If you're curious as to what that book is, it is my favorite author, Max Hawthorne. His 3rd book in the Kronos Rising series. Anyways. This is I like sours. I'm not the biggest fan of fruit sours. I am not. Like raspberry beers, I'll gravitate towards a raspberry wheat or even a raspberry brown ale before I go to a raspberry sour. Although I know a raspberry sour is going to have more of that raspberry flavor shining through. I just would rather have, a wheat or a brown ale. But this is so incredible. This goes beyond that. It's not limited to that. It is by far the best raspberry beer I've ever had. It's not the best sour by any means. But it is the best raspberry beer I've ever had. And there's not much more I can say about this. If you like raspberry, even if you have never had a raspberry beer, but you like raspberries, which I love raspberries, try this beer. Even if you don't like sours, try this beer. Because this is not actually sour. It's no more tart than an actual raspberry is, anyways. But I think for this third time having this beer, I think I'm going to rate this 5-star. I think I might. It takes a lot to get a 5-star rating out of me. I want to, but I'm leaning towards a 4.75. I mean, it's still going up. But like I said, the first time I had this beer, I rated a 4. Second time, 4.5. Now I'm doing a 4.75. Probably the next time I have it, it'll be a 5-star. But as of right now, I gotta say 4.75. Like I said, if you like raspberry, pick this up. Even if you don't like sour, I highly recommend this. This is not actually sour. It's just a beautifully well-made fruit sour, which doesn't really have much sour flavor to it. And like I said, it has no more tartness than a raspberry beer. It has no more tartness than a raspberry actually has. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I would buy this again, easy. Even had a $12 or $13 6-pack or whatever it is. I have nothing else to say. Oh, by the way, I forgot. She was just up here. This is Tiffany. You can't see her now, but you could see her when she was up there. Hi, Tiffany. She hates being touched. She doesn't do touching. You pick her up, and she flails almost immediately. Right, Tiffany? She doesn't like attention at all. She hates attention. I think now the only one of my cats you haven't met is Luna, who sometimes I think she likes me better than her mother, but she'll tell me things that Luna won't do with me, so I'm like, okay, so Luna likes you fucking better than she likes me. Anyways, if you like raspberry, go out and get this beer. I don't care if you've never had a raspberry beer. I don't care if you usually don't like raspberry beer. Get this beer. You will enjoy this raspberry beer. It is so incredible. Anyways, this has been a very long video. I'm going to end it. Prost.